Hello everyone. Today in this session we will discuss a very important and interesting topic, that is parts of speech. This chapter will help you identify the parts of speech in the given sentence, spot the errors and improve the sentences. So let's begin with the session. Now, for at first a question will arise in your mind that what are parts of speech? Well, let us discuss this first. Now, we have already learned the structure of the sentence. We already know that what is the basic structure of the sentence, that is subject, then verb, and then object. For example, if I write a sentence that Ravi is going to London. Now, this is a basic sentence. If we look at the sentence, if we see the sentence, we can see several parts over here. For example, we have the word written in this Ravi, then is, then going, then to, then London. Now, the speech is the entire sentence that we have. Now, the words, let us break these parts of speech. Now, what is a speech? A speech is actually the entire sentence or the statement one is saying to another or one is writing. Now, this is the entire speech, and there are several parts of it. Now, this Ravi is another one part, is another part, then going is different part, to is another part, and London is another part of the sentence. Now, these are the parts of the sentence, and each part has its own identification, has its own identity. They all are different in their identification. For example, if I say Ravi, this word is a noun, then we have is, this is a verb, again going is a verb, to is a preposition, and then when we have London, this can either be a noun or an adverb. Well, here it is an adverb. Now look at these words, these different words, and each word has its own identification. Now, these are called parts of speech. The word which we are stating over here, that is noun, verb, all these are parts of speech. It means parts of speech creates a sentence. So, we have to learn all the parts of speech, that what are the various parts of speech, so that we can clearly know how to make a sentence and how to identify it. Now, let us begin with the session that what are these parts of speech. So, let's have a look over this table. In this table, you can see that we have subject, then we have verb, and then we have object. Now, what are these subject, verb, and object? We have already discussed that subject is the doer of action, then verb is action. Though we will elaborate this further, this later on, that we will discuss subject, verb, and object in details in the next chapter as well. Now, object is actually the receiver of action. It is actually the receiver of action, or you can say one who receives the action. So we can say it is the receiver of action. Now, or you can say the word which replies to the question what or whom. Okay, well, that we will discuss later on in detail. Now, one who receives this verb or this action is known as object, and one who performs this action is known as subject. Now, this subject is generally made of noun or pronoun. Same way, object is also made of noun or pronoun, either noun or pronoun. Now, if we see what are noun and pronouns. So, noun is a name given to anything. You can say name of anything. N for name and N for noun. So, name are all the namings word are known as noun. All the naming words are known as noun. For example, name of any place, name of any person, name of anything is known as noun. Everything that surrounds us is noun. For example, air, we have water, we have people, we have animals, we have trees, we have anything that surrounds us. Suppose we are saying Ravi, we are saying Harish, all these names are noun. Pronoun are the words that replaces noun or that can replace noun. For example, if I say Ravi is going to London, instead of Ravi, I can use he is going to London. Or if I say Ravi is going to London, he go there by airplane. Now, he he will go there by aeroplane. Now this word he is used in place of Ravi. So he will be the pronoun. So noun is a naming word, whereas pronoun are the words that replaces noun. Or you can say it's a replacing word of noun. A word which can replace noun and make the sentence complete. Now we have word adjective over here. Now what is this adjective? Adjective is actually the modifier or the qualifier. Now a word which can qualify the noun or pronoun. A word which qualifies noun or pronoun, or you can say it describes the quality or anything about noun or pronoun. For example, if I say Ravi is honest. So here in this sentence, I'm talking about Ravi, that he is honest. Now this honest is used for Ravi. And it is stating us the quality of Ravi, and Ravi is a noun. Ravi is a noun. Therefore, this word honest is an adjective because it is qualifying the word noun, or it is qualifying, it is stating as the quality of a noun. So any word that can describe a noun or pronoun by stating its quality, by stating its number, by stating its quantity, anything. Anyhow, if a word qualifies a noun or pronoun, it is known as adjective. For example, if I say you all are intelligent students. Now you all are intelligent students. Now I am here talking about students, that these students are intelligent. It means I'm stating the quality, the attribute of these students. So this word intelligent is known as adjective and students is known as noun. Now if I say round table, you must have heard round table conference. So here we have written round table. Table is a noun, of course, and round is stating the shape of this table. So any word that describes or modify a noun or modifies a noun, so this word round is an adjective in this sentence. Now, or in this phrase. Now, if I say big box or huge box, so it is again stating the size of the box. So again this is an adjective and this is a noun. So any word that describes a noun or pronoun is known as adjective. For example, if I say Seema is good. Now here I'm telling the quality of Seema, that how is she? She is good. Now good is an adjective because it is stating about Seema. The word states about Seema, that how is Seema. So good again is an adjective. So any word that describes a noun or pronoun is known as adjective. Now we have another word that is adverb. Okay, this is adverb, not adjective. Now we have word adverb. Now this is an adverb. Now what are adverbs? Let us discuss about adverbs first. Now what are adverbs? Any word which qualifies. Now in this word you can see, let me write it clearly. Then you would understand it properly. Now this is adverb. Now we have a word over here that is adverb. Now what is adverb? You can see in this word here it is written verb and then it is written here add. It means a word which adds something to a verb is known as adverb. It clearly states that if a word modifies or qualifies a verb, that word is known as adverb. For example, if I say he runs fast. Now the sentence is he runs fast. Now let us see this sentence very carefully. Here he is written, he is a person. Then we have the word runs. Runs is a verb, of course. Runs is a verb, is an action word. Now how he runs? How does he run? Now he runs fast. Now the fast is stating us the quality of runs, that he runs fast. He runs fast. So fast is telling us the quality of runs, which is a verb, and fast is an adverb because it is adding something to the verb, or it is stating us the quality of the verb, that how the action is being performed. So the action is performed in a fast manner. So this word is known as adverb. Any word that describes verb is known as adverb. Now, if I say she bakes well. Now, bakes is an action over here. That means it is a verb. And how does she bake? She bakes well. So well is stating as the quality of her baking, that she bakes very well. So she bakes. Bakes is a verb over here, and well, the word well is stating or is telling us the quality of bakes. Now this well will be well is an adverb over here because it is stating us the quality of bakes, that is a verb. Now I hope it is clear to you all that what is an adverb. Adverb, but adverb is not that much limited to the extent of the verb, but it can be defined further as well. How? Now, this word also contains a word ad, and ad for adjective. Ad stands for adjective. Now, a word which tells us the quality of adjective, which qualifies adjective. A word which can qualify adjectives is also known as adverb. For example, if I say she is beautiful, now we have a sentence that she is beautiful. So how is she? She is beautiful. Now she is a noun. Now she, the word beautiful is telling us the quality of she. So what is beautiful? Beautiful is an adjective which is telling us the quality of she. She is a pronoun or a subject. Now, here beautiful is an adjective. Now, if I write the sentence like she is very beautiful. Now, this word very is qualifying the word beautiful. Beautiful is an adjective. Now, very is used for beautiful. Very is used for beautiful. That she is very beautiful. So, this word very is an adverb, and adverb is a word which can qualify adjective, or you can say adverb is a word which qualifies adjective. So adverb is a word which qualifies adjective. Now we can define adverb as a word which qualifies verb and which can qualify adjectives. Now, this is not yet complete. How? Because adverb is a word which qualifies itself as well. Adverb is a word which qualifies itself as well. It qualifies itself as well. How? Let us see. Now, again, if we see this word, now the sentence is written over here, he runs fast. Now, if I add a word very over here, he runs very fast. Now, very is qualifying the word fast, and fast is an adverb we have already discussed. So, very is qualifying the word adverb, that is fast. So, very is also an adverb. So, adverb is a word. Now, from this, we can conclude that adverb is a word which qualifies adjective, verb, and adverb itself. So, it is a word which can qualify all of this. For example, let us see one more example. She speaks too loudly. Now, how does she speak? She speaks loudly. Now, speak is a verb, and loudly is an adverb which is describing or qualifying the word speaks, that is verb. So speaks is an adverb. Now if I say she speaks too loudly, so too is enhancing the quality of loudness, quality of this adverb. So too is emphasizing on the word loudly, so too is again an adverb over here. So adverb is qualifying adverbs as well. So we can conclude over here that adverb is a word which qualifies verb, adjective and itself. I hope this is clear to you all. Now we have learned several parts of speech like noun, pronoun and adjective, adverb. Now we have verb. Verb we have already discussed in earlier chapters as well, that verb is used for action. Though it states as well, it possesses as well, but that we will discuss later on in the chapter of verb. Now we have another word, that is conjunction. Now what is connection? Conjunction, sorry. It connects the words together, or it connects the words with each other. For example, if we have two words in a sentence, if we have two nouns in a sentence, if we have two pronouns in a sentence, if we have two verbs in a sentence, if we have two or more adjectives in a sentence, if we have two or more adverbs in a sentence, or you can say there are two or more phrases, two or more clauses, and we want to combine all those words together or all those sentences or clauses together, that is known as conjunction, which is used to join those two or more sentences together. It means conjunction is a word which combines or connects two or more words, clauses or sentences together. That is known as conjunction. Now conjunction is a word that comes from junction, and junction means to add. As you must have heard the word railway junction, and junction is used for railway, and the junction connects two cities or two areas with each other with the help of a route. So conjunction can be related to that particular word. Now conjunction are the connectors that joins two sentences, two words or two clauses with each other. For example, he and she, you and I. So you and I are connected with the word and. So and is a conjunction. She as well as her mother. So her mother and she are connected with the word as well as. So as well as is a conjunction. So there are several words which connect the words, clauses or sentences together. Those words are known as conjunctions. I hope this is clear to you all. Now we have the word preposition. Now what are prepositions? Prepositions are actually, as you can see, the word preposition. Now it states the position of noun or pronoun with related with the rest of the sentence. For example, if I say she is going to London, so in this word to is a preposition because she is going to London. So London is related, or she is related to the entire sentence, or London is related to the entire sentence with the help of to. So this word is known as preposition, which describes actually the position and time, which indicates the position and time. For example, if I say she is in the classroom. Now, her position is in classroom. How we get this position? That she is in the classroom, because in states here that the place of her related to this classroom. So here she is related. She here relates to the entire sentence with the help of this word in. So this in is known as preposition. There are several prepositions like in, for, under, below, above, over, upon, onto, on. There are many prepositions. We will definitely discuss them in the chapter of preposition, and prepositions are very, very interesting. now, and we of course use them in our daily life. Now, why they are called preposition? Now you can see the word over here, that is preposition. It indicates the position or time of something. For example, I started my class at 10, so at is also a preposition which is indicating the time of the starting of the session. Now if I say this word in states the position, that is, it is inside the classroom. Now this word in is a preposition, and it is being used before the place of person, before this place. So this is called preposition, or you can say preposition. Now that we have one more parts of speech, that is interjection. Now what are interjections? Let us discuss. This is very interesting, though it is not asked in the questions in the form of questions in your exam, but it is important because just because it is a part of a speech, and in several exams you can be asked to identify the parts of a speech. This will definitely help you out there, because you can find the questions related to this chapter over there. Now, what are interjections? Interjections are sudden emotions which come out immediately when something happens to us. For example, if I see a snake in front of me, my reaction would be like, maybe I scream, maybe uh, I stood still, or I stand still, maybe I uh, scream in fear, maybe I say, oh my god, maybe uh, I don't know what will be the reaction, but the sudden reaction that will happen at that time, that is interjection. It is not pre-planned at all. It is just a sudden reaction which comes out of us. For example, if one succeeds, he says hooray. If one fails, he said alas, oh god, oh no. These reactions, these exclamations are known as interjections. For example, you can see this person, he's very happy, hooray, B. Whereas this person is very much sad. I don't know what has happened to her or what has happened to him, but something might happen. That's why he's sad. So he's saying alas. So these reactions, these sudden emotions which comes out of us, we don't know what will be the reaction. It is not pre-planned at all. The sudden words, the sudden sounds that come out of us after something happened to us, those words are known as interjections. These are just emotions and feelings, or you can say exclamations that states our position, that states our emotions and feelings. So these words are known as interjections. Now let us elaborate all of these with some definitions. Now we have several parts of speech, like we have noun, we have already discussed, that is naming word. Then we have pronoun, word which replace noun. Verb, action words. Though verb is a wide definition that we will discuss in the chapter of verb only. Adjective, modifiers or qualifiers, qualifies noun, qualify nouns or pronouns. Why in any manner. For example, it can state the size, the quality, the quantity, the shape of the color of something. For example, if I say blue t-shirt, so the blue is an adjective. If I say Indian, he's an Indian. So Indian is the actually the proper adjective, which is stating the nationality of a person. So Indian is also an adjective. Adverb can qualify verb, adjective, and adverb. So it can qualify all of these. Now we have preposition. The words indicates, or the words indicate the position or time of a noun with the entire sentence. Conjunction connects the sentences, words, or clauses together. Maybe more, maybe two, maybe more than two. Interjection speaks out or speak out our emotions and feelings, or you can say sudden emotions and sudden feelings. A sudden word is very important over here. Now let us move further. We have the chapters, articles, and tenses. Now, articles and tenses are not the part of parts of speech. Why so? Articles are actually are a special type of adjectives. How? Let us discuss this. Now, if we see a phrase that is one pen. Now, here in this phrase, we can see pan is a noun, whereas one is telling us the number of that this particular noun. So we can say that this word one is an adjective over here. This word one is an adjective over here, which is qualifying the noun pen. Now, one is an adjective over here. Now, this if look at this phrase, this means one pen, that a person has only one pen. Now, if I write a pen, if we look at both of these phrases, they sound same. Both of these are same in the meaning or same in meaning. It means if I say one pen, it definitely means a pen, or a pen or one pen means the same. Now, if I see this word a, this is an article. We read this an article, or you can say indefinite article, and pan is a noun. But this is behaving like an adjective. This is behaving like an adjective, the work that adjective does. So this word a is doing the same. Now, a and one can be substituted with each other. So here a is a kind of an adjective. It means we can say that articles are special types of adjectives. So from this we can conclude that articles are a special type of adjectives. That is why we do not involve, we do not include, or we cannot we don't say that articles are the parts of a speech. We do not include them in parts of a speech just because they are the parts of adjectives. Tenses are actually, now what are tenses? Tenses actually forms the speech or the entire sentence, forms the entire sentence, or you can say form the entire sentence. Tenses form the entire sentence. Therefore, tenses are not the parts of a speech because it creates the sentence. For example, if I say Ravi goes to Delhi every Sunday, this is present indefinite, of course. This is present indefinite. It means this is a present indefinite tense, or you can say simple present tense. Now, if I say, or if I write this sentence in past indefinite, I can write Ravi went to Delhi every Sunday. It means he used to go. He used to go before, but nowadays he doesn't. So here, this statement shows that this is past indefinite. This is the activity of past, or you can say simple past. So here the entire sentence changes, not a single part. That is why tenses are not the parts of a speech, because it forms the entire sentence. It doesn't form the part of the sentence. Ravi is not tense. Goes is not a tense. To is not a tense. In fact, the entire sentence states the form of tense. That is why tenses are not included in the parts of a speech. Now, I hope all this concept or all these concepts are clear to you. Now, let's do some exercise or let's do practice. So first we have subject. Subject is the main noun or pronoun in the sentence that performs action or is being described. It is what sentence is about. So sentence, in the part of sentence you can say the subject. Subject is actually the doer of action, the one who performs the action or a person whom we are talking about. Well, this we will discuss in the next chapter in detail, whom we are talking about. For example, if I say she is studying for the exam. Now, the work done is studying. Who is studying? She. So, she is performing the action. So, we are talking about she. So, she is a subject in this sentence. Then we have verb. Verb is actually the action words. So, studying is a verb. The verb is the action word in a sentence that shows what the subject is going on, the state it is in. So that is verb. Now the state is in, it is in, will be discussed in the chapter of verb in detail. There you will definitely come to know that what does it mean. Now object. The object is a noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verb. Now one is receiver of the action. For example, if I say I teach. Now I is the subject, teach is a verb. Now if you will ask that whom do you teach? I said I teach you. I teach you. Whom do I teach? I teach you. So you is receiver of this action. That is why you is an object. Now one who receives the action is known as object. Now if I say I teach, what do I teach? Suppose I say I teach English. Now what do I teach? I teach English. So English is an object, teach is a verb. Okay. Now let us move further. Adjective. An adjective is a word that describes or modifies a noun or pronoun, providing more information about its qualities or characteristics. She is studying for the important exam. Now, what kind of exam it is? It is an important exam. So this important is an adverb which is qualifying the word exam, which is a noun. Adverb is a word that modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb indicating how, when, where, or what extent. Now, if any question like when, where, how arises in your mind, and the reply to these questions are adverb. The reply to these questions will be the adverb. Preposition is a word that shows the relationship between a noun or pronoun and other words in a sentence. It often indicates location, direction, time, or position. For example, at, in, on, with, for, within, etc. All these are prepositions. There are many other prepositions as well. For example, here it is written, she is studying for the important exam. So, for is a preposition over there. A conjunction is a word that connects words, phrases, or clauses in a sentence, helping to create compound or complex sentence. We have already discussed in the last chapter about compound and complex structure or sentences. So, any word which coordinates or which connects these type of sentences, clauses, or words are known as conjunctions. For example, and, but, yet, though, although, all these are conjunctions. Now we have interjection. Interjection is a word or phrase used to express strong emotions, feelings, or reactions. Wow, she did well in the exam. Now she has performed well in the exam, and we are praising her, we are applauding her. Wow, she did well. So she did well. So here we have the word wow with an exclamatory mark. This is known as interjection because this shows the sudden emotion or feeling of a person. Now let us discuss one exercise or some examples related to this chapter. So types of questions that you may encounter with when you are taking your exam. First, we have the question like identify the subject or verb. Now you will be given a sentence and you will be asked to identify the subject or the verb in the sentence. Now subject is actually the doer of action and verb is the action. So let us discuss this in with an example. You may be asked to identify the subject or verb in the given sentence. Like here, one example is given to you. Identify the subject and verb in the sentence. The cat is sleeping. Now, the action which is going on is sleeping. So this is verb. This is helping verb, and the cat is subject. The cat is subject because she is sleeping. Because the cat is sleeping. So cat is a person who is sleeping, which is sleeping actually. Now complete the sentence. You may be asked to fill in the blank, fill in the missing word or phrase to complete the sentence correctly. For example, it is written over here, she loves to. Now, what does she love to? She loves to play the guitar. She loves to play the guitar. So here we can complete the sentence in this manner. Any phrase that you want, that you feel suitable over in this blank, you can fill with that. Now you may be asked to identify the type of sentence, whether it is declarative or assertive, interrogative, imperative, or exclamatory based on the given sentence. For example, if it is written, where are you going? So here where, it means a question word has been used. So this is an interrogative sentence. This is an interrogative sentence. Now change the sentence type. You might need to change the type of the sentence. So you can say you have to transform the sentence from one type to another. For example, here it is written, you have to change the sentence to an interrogative. It means the sentence is given in declarative or assertive manner. You have to convert or you have to transform the sentence into interrogative. They will arrive tomorrow. So here we have a modal that is will. I have already told you that in case of interrogative sentence, we can begin it either with a question word or with a helping verb or auxiliary verb or modal, you can say. So here we have modal. So we can make this sentence like, will they arrive tomorrow? So this is an interrogative sentence. Also you and it with the help of a question mark like this. This is the manner of a question mark. You can make the question mark like this as well. Now combine sentences. You can be asked to combine sentences using some conjunction. She likes to read books. She also enjoys writing. So she likes to read books and enjoys writing. You can combine these two sentences in such manner. She likes to read books and enjoys writing. So in this manner, you can connect these two sentences with each other. Now identify the error. You will be asked to identify or spot the error. Now he don't like coffee. Now we know that well that verb should comply the subject, or you can say comply with subject, or you can say we use the verb according to the subject. It means if the subject is singular, we use singular form of verb, and if the subject is plural, we use plural form of verb. Now here it is written he. With he, we use doesn't and not don't. Now in this sentence, you have to only identify the error. You don't have to rectify it. You need not rectify it. You just have to identify the part that contains error. So if I further divide it in this part, A, B, C, so we can say A part contains the error, or we can say this part contains the error. But if it is given in sentence improvement form, you will be asked to substitute the underlined part with the correct option. So don't will be replaced with the word doesn't. Now, you may be asked to arrange or rearrange the jumbled words like you did somewhere in dodging tables when you were in lower classes. Now, went parked the day to yesterday. Now, this is very simple sentence. They went to the park yesterday. Now, one more thing we should keep in mind, we have to use only those words which are given in the sentence as not arranged properly. We have to arrange only those words and we have to use all of the words which are given in the sentence. We don't have to add with other words. Now, again, a question. It is a sentence given to you and you are asked to identify the parts of a speech. For example, you have to identify the speech of the word beautiful in the sentence, that is, she has a beautiful garden. Now, this word beautiful is indicating the quality of this garden. This garden is a noun, and beautiful is telling us the quality of this garden. So, this is an adjective. So, beautiful is an adjective which is telling us the quality of this noun. Punctuation and capitalization. Now, you should keep in mind about the punctuation marks. For example, the first letter of the sentence should be in capital letters. Proper noun should begin with capital letters. There should be full stop at the end of the sentence. There should be comma when as in when required. So there are several punctuation marks. Now I have a dog. So here I is written in lower cases, which is incorrect, or you can say small alphabet, which is incorrect. So it should be I have a dog. Now this sentence is correct and you have to end it with a full stop. So this will be the sentence. Now again you will be asked to fill the blank with suitable word. For example, she is dash at painting. So we can write she is good at painting. Identify the subject of verb. The dog barked loudly. So here the dog is subject, whereas barked is verb, and loudly is an adverb. So you are asked to identify both these things only. Complete the sentence. Again, she loves to dance. We can say she loves to dance. Identify the type of sentences. Where are you going? Again, this is interrogative sentence. So these are sentences we have already discussed as well. So this is the entire session of parts of speech. I hope this is clear to you all and you all understand this.